No, as we're live streaming, talking about the NFL Combine, and we talk about defensive linemen today, and we're doing a 40-yard jazz, 40-yard dash, and Mason Riegler, a defensive lineman, number 58, is about to do his 40-yard dash. Let's see what his time gonna be today. Get on your march, get set, go, and he starts. And he finishes his 10-yard split. It was 1.61, and the best time as defensive lineman was 4.51, and his first attempt was 4.79. The next defensive lineman to run is Mason Thomas, a defensive lineman that played for Oklahoma Sooners. 6'2", 241 pounds. Let's see what his number's gonna be. You ready? Yes, sir. Go. Oh, false start. Oh, he gonna have to redo his run again. Okay. Doing their run is R. Mason Thomas, a defensive lineman for the Oklahoma Sooners. Let's see what his 40 time's gonna be. Get ready, get set, go. All right. Nice split. All right, his 10-yard split was 1.64, and his first attempt was 4.67. The best defensive line run time is David Bell at 4.51. 4.6 for a defensive lineman, that's pretty good. Okay, the next player we got is Nadine Tucker, a defensive lineman. He's 6'1", weighing 247 pounds, and he played for William Mary University. All right, get on your mark, get set, go. 40-yard dash, and his time was 4.74. That's his first attempt. Nadine Tucker, a defensive lineman. Wesley Williams is up next. Defensive lineman for Duke. Secco. Okay, nice. And his 40 time was a 4.9 and still haven't beat David Bailey, who has a 4.51 in the 40-yard dash. And another defensive lineman is Vincent Anthony Jr. His first one was 4.85. Let's see if you do better with his second run. Okay. You ready? Get set, go. Nice start. And for Vincent Anthony Jr., he did another a second attempt. It was a 4.85. So he did about the same. He didn't do any better. David Bailey, who had the best time so far, a 4.51. He played for Texas Tech. Let's see if he can do better. Ready, set, go. Nice run. And he didn't do better. 4.54. David Bailey in 2019, David Burns. They ran identical. Jashawn Barner, a defensive lineman, he had a 4.6 on his first run. And on the second run, he did a 4.66. Looked like he pulled a hamstring. All right, Danny Dennis Sutton. His first one 4.64, and the second one was 4.65. George Gumps Jr., a defensive lineman, record was 4.7, and his second one was 4.6. Well, Mario Height, the first one was 4.64, and the second was 4.65. Cassius Howell, a defensive lineman, his first one was 4.60. Let's see if he do good on the second one. Get ready, get set, go. And the second one was 4.6 again for Cassius Howell. 10-yard split was a 1.58. And he's tied for first for the fastest 10-yard split. Gustavius Hutchinson, it was 4.74. Second one is a 4.76. His 10-yard split was a 1.71. Marvin Jones Jr., first one was a 4.74. And the second one was a 4.70. Did better. His 10-yard split is a 1.66. The next one's up is Malik Kelly, a defensive lineman. His first round was a 4.91. Let's see what the second one gonna be. When Nalika Najalik Kelly from UCF did better. His first run was a 4.91, and the second is 4.8. And Malachi Lawrence from UCF, first one was a 4.53. And the second run was a 4.53 of Malachi Lawrence. Max Llewellyn. His first one was a 4.85. And the second one, he did better, 4.81. His 10-yard split was a 1.65. Next defensive lineman is Trey Moore from Texas. First one was a 4.55. And he did better on his second run for Trey Moore with 4.54 and a 10-yard split of 1.61. LT Overton, defensive lineman, is next. His first run was a 4.91. And he did better. Second run for LT Overton was a 4.87, and his 10-yard split is a 1.71. LJ Barker was a 4.6. Second run, he's a 4.73. Mason Ragler, first one was a 4.79. Let's see if he get better. And Mason Ragler didn't didn't finish better than his first time, but the second attempt was a 4.84 in the 40. R. Mason Thomas, it was a 4.67 on his first run. Second run, oh, looked like he had a false start. He about to redo it again. Nice run. Will it be that 4.67? No, he didn't, but his second round is 4.74. Still pretty fast for a defensive lineman. R. Mason Thomas from Oklahoma. Next up is Nadine Tucker, defensive lineman. His first one was a 4.74. You ready? Get set. Go. Nice start off. Well, we might beat that 4.74. No, he didn't. His second one was a 4.78 for Nadeem Tucker, and his 10-yard split was a 1.64. All right, Chad, who's your favorite football team? Mine is the New Orleans Saints. All right, Wesley Williams. His first one was a 4.90. Looked like he came off to a nice start. Will he beat it? No, his second one is a 4.93. His 10-yard split was a 1.69. Today's infield workouts. We're working on defensive linemen, and the linebacker. I wonder who my Saints gonna pick up this year. We need an edge rusher, real bad. All right, we're just waiting on for them to come up with the next drill so we can see which linebacker and which defensive lineman step up in these up and coming drills. All right. First player is Vincent Anthony Jr., a defensive lineman who had 13 tackles for loss for 7.5 sacks, and both that was a career high. Now we got David Bailey, Big 12 conference defensive lineman, pretty fluid with his movement. And now we got Cameron Crawford, 2025 third team All SEC. We got Caden Cover, defensive lineman, 11 sacks in 2025, tied for ninth in the FBS. Danny Dennis Sutton, 8.5 sacks in the last two seasons. And Kendrick Falk, 30 quarterback pressure, 2025 second on team. George Gumps Jr., defensive lineman, 31 tackles, 6.5 tackles, 2.5 sacks in 2025. Memorial Heights, 11.5 tackles for loss, and that's a career high in 2025. Casher Howell, who had 11.5 sacks. First Texas A&M player since Myles Garrett to have that many sacks. Costavious Hutchinson, 35 tackles for Boston College. 35 tackles in 10 games. That's a career high. Marvin Jones Jr., 21 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, for 2 sacks in 2025. And he played for Oklahoma Sooners. N'Keal Kelly, who had 46 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, and averaging 3 sacks and an interception in 2025. Malachi Lawrence had 11 tackles for losses, 7 sacks in 2025. In both stats, he led the team. Max Lewin had 26 tackles for 9.5 yards, tackle for loss, and 6.5 sacks in 2025. Anthony Lewis, all Big Ten honorable mentions. LT Overton had 42 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 4 sacks in 2025. TJ Parker, defensive lineman, all ACC honorable mention. Mason Regular, 33 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 5 sacks in 2025. Tyreek Sapp, 34 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss in 2025. Nadine Tucker, 2025 MAC Defensive Player of the Year. Wesley Williams, played for Duke, two-time All ACC honorable mention for 2024 and 2025. Zion Young, 16 tackles for loss, 6.5 sacks in 2025, career high. He played for the Missouri Tigers. Malachi Lawrence for UCF, 11 tackles for loss, 7 sacks in 2025. Both led the team in defensive stats. Okay, that's the complete coverage from the NFL Scouting Combine. Check us out later. We'll have more coverage, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Formula Talk One. Thank you for your support.